March 15, 1955, 7:23 p.m. Vincent Mell is standing outside an office door in Harlem. His hands won't stop shaking. 24 hours ago, this man owned one of the most successful restaurants in Upper Manhattan. 3 generations, 30 years of family legacy, packed every night. Now he's about to beg. Not just apologize, beg, on his knees if he has to. And the man he's about to beg, the same man he threw out of his restaurant yesterday, the same man he called a word that should never leave anyone's lips, the same man he thought he could disrespect and walk away from. Bumpy Johnson. Here's what Vincent doesn't know yet, what he's about to find out in the most brutal way possible. Bumpy never threw a punch, never sent his guys, never even raised his voice. He made phone calls, just phone calls. And in 24 hours, Vincent's entire world collapsed. His deliveries gone, his customers vanished, his business dying. All because of a few phone calls. This isn't a story about revenge. This is a masterclass in power, real power, the kind that doesn't need violence, the kind that rewrites a man's soul. By the end of this, Vincent Mell won't just apologize, he'll become a completely different person. Before we get into this real quick, drop a comment right now and tell me where you're watching from, your city, your state, anywhere in the world. I'm curious who's hearing this story. And are you listening at work, in your car, late night scroll? Let me know. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to how this all started. 1955, Harlem, New York. You gotta understand something about this time, about this place. Harlem wasn't just a neighborhood, it was the neighborhood, the center of Black America, where jazz was born, where dreams lived, where a people who'd been told they were nothing built something extraordinary. But it was also a battlefield. Every street corner, every business, every interaction, it was all part of an invisible war. The war for respect. See, white business owners had been in Harlem for decades. Some adapted, welcomed Black customers, hired Black workers, became part of the community. Others, they held onto the old ways, tight. No signs in the windows anymore. The law wouldn't allow it, but the racism, still there, just quieter, more subtle. A cold stare when you walked in, seating you in the back by the kitchen, never by the window, making you wait longer, charging you more. Small cruelties designed to remind you that you weren't really welcome. And people felt it, every single time. That's where Bumpy Johnson comes in. By 1955, Bumpy had been running Harlem for over 20 years. He controlled the numbers. He had connections from City Hall to the 5 families. Cops, politicians, businessmen, they all knew Bumpy's name. But here's what made Bumpy different. He loved his community. When families couldn't afford Christmas, Bumpy played Santa. When young men needed work, Bumpy found them jobs. When cops got too rough, Bumpy made calls that made badges nervous. Was he a criminal? Absolutely. But to Harlem, he was their criminal, their protector, their king. And Bumpy had one rule, one thing that would turn him from businessman to force of nature. Don't disrespect his people. Not him. Bumpy could handle insults. He'd been called everything, but disrespect his community, disrespect Black folks trying to live with dignity. That's when Bumpy became dangerous. Vincent Mell didn't know any of this. Or maybe he did, maybe he just didn't care. Vincent ran Mell's restaurant on 116th Street. His grandfather opened it in 1925. His father expanded it in the 40s. Vincent inherited it in 1952. Beautiful place, old world charm, famous pasta, politicians ate there, businessmen closed deals there. But Vincent had a problem. He hated Black people. He hid it most days, served Black customers because he had to, took their money because business is business. But deep down, Vincent thought he was better, thought his restaurant was too good for them. And he'd been waiting for a chance, just one chance to make that clear. What Vincent didn't understand was simple. His restaurant survived because of Harlem, because of Black doctors eating there, Black lawyers, Black businessmen, jazz musicians after shows, church groups celebrating. Without them, Mel's was just another Italian restaurant. There were hundreds in New York. Vincent also didn't know something else, something more dangerous. Bumpy Johnson had been watching him for 6 months. Bumpy heard the stories, how Vincent talked about black customers behind their backs, how he seated them in the worst spots, how he made them wait longer, small disrespects that added up. And Bumpy was patient, because he knew something Vincent didn't. Sooner or later, Vincent would disrespect the wrong person. And when that happened, Bumpy would be ready. March 14, 1955, 8:15 p.m. Bumpy Johnson walks into Mel's restaurant, 2 associates with him, dressed sharp, gray suit, silk tie, polished shoes. He walks in like he owns the place. Because in Harlem, Bumpy owns everything. The hostess sees him immediately. Young Italian girl named Maria, eyes go wide. Everyone in Harlem knows Bumpy's face. "Mr. Johnson, welcome, table for 3. But before Bumpy can answer, Vincent appears from the kitchen. He sees Bumpy, and something inside him snaps. Maybe it's pride, maybe stupidity, maybe 30 years of hidden hatred finally boiling over. Whatever it is, Vincent's about to destroy his entire life. "We don't serve your kind here." The restaurant goes dead silent. 50 people, forks frozen halfway to mouths. Conversations die. Everyone knows who Bumpy is. Everyone knows what those words mean. Bumpy doesn't move, doesn't react, just looks at Vincent, calm, patient. "Excuse me." Vincent steps closer, face red, hands shaking, but not from fear, from rage. "You heard me. I don't care who you think you are. I don't care how many people you know. This is MY Restaurant. My grandfather built it. My father built it." He pauses, and then he says it. The word. The one word you never say to a black man. The one that starts wars. "I'm not having some," and he says it, right there in front of everyone. "Sitting in my dining room like he belongs here. Get out, now." One of Bumpy's guys reaches for his waistband. Bumpy raises one finger. The guy stops. Bumpy looks around, sees the shocked faces. Black customers frozen in shame, white customers staring at their plates, Maria the hostess crying silently across the room. Then Bumpy does something nobody expects. He smiles. "Your grandfather built this place. 30 years, you said." "That's right." Bumpy nods, straightens his tie, brushes lint off his sleeve. And then he says 4 words that will haunt Vincent forever. "I'll see you tomorrow." Bumpy walks out, his guys follow, door closes. Vincent stands there, chest out, thinking he won. He has no idea what's coming. Here's the thing about Bumpy Johnson. He never walked into anything blind, never made a move without knowing exactly what would happen next. Bumpy had been researching Mel's restaurant for 6 months. Who supplied their food, who delivered their wine, who did their laundry, who collected their garbage, who fixed their equipment. Every single service. Walking into that restaurant wasn't about dinner, it was a test to see who Vincent really was. Vincent passed with flying colors. Now it was time for the lesson. 9:00 p.m., same night, Bumpy makes his first call. Raymond Bishop runs the largest food distribution company in Upper Manhattan. "Raymond, Mel's restaurant, no more deliveries." "How long?" "Until I say otherwise." Click. 9:15 p.m., Marcus Thompson controls linen service for restaurants across Harlem. "Marcus, Mel's is off your route, starting tomorrow." "Done." Click. 9:30 p.m., sanitation workers, ice company, refrigerator repair, electrician, plumber. One by one, same message. "Stop working with them, effective immediately." Click, click, click. But Bumpy wasn't done. 10:00 p.m., different kind of call, this one went to the community. Churches, social clubs, barbershops, beauty salons, the gossip network of Harlem. The message was simple. Vincent Mell called Bumpy Johnson that word, threw him out in front of everyone. Pass it on. By midnight, every black person in Harlem knew. By morning, they'd know what to do. March 15, 1955, 6 a.m. Vincent unlocks his restaurant, feeling proud. He stood up to Bumpy Johnson, showed everyone he wasn't afraid. He starts preparing for the day. 7:00 a.m. Food delivery doesn't come. Vincent calls, line's busy. Calls again, still busy. Weird. 8:00 a.m. Linen service doesn't show up, neither does ice delivery. That chill, it's not the temperature. 9 a.m. Yesterday's garbage is still in the alley. Garbage truck drove right past. 10 a.m. Vincent opens anyway. He's got enough food for one day, enough linens. He can handle this. But then something worse happens. Nobody comes. The lunch rush arrives and goes. Not a single black customer walks through that door. That's 60% of his business gone. But it gets worse. White customers start getting calls from friends, business partners. You hear what Mel did, threw out Bumpy Johnson, used the N-word, you might want to eat somewhere else. Bumpy might be watching who goes in there. By noon, Vincent's standing in an empty restaurant, food he can't serve, dirty linens piling up, garbage rotting outside. And the day's just getting started. 2:00 p.m. Refrigerator breaks down. Vincent calls his repair guy. Phone rings and rings and rings. 3:00 p.m. Tries a different food supplier. They've got him blacklisted. Tries 3 more. Same answer. Can't help you. 4 p.m. Health inspector shows up. Someone called in a complaint about the garbage. Vincent gets a warning. 1 more violation. Shut down. 5:00 p.m. Vincent sits alone in his empty restaurant. Food spoiling in the broken fridge. No clean tablecloths, no ice, no customers, no way to fix any of it. That's when his cousin Tony walks in. Tony works the docks. Tony knows how New York works. You're an idiot, Vincent. What? You insulted Bumpy Johnson in public with witnesses. He's just a gangster. He can't do this. Tony laughs, but it's not funny. Just a gangster. Bumpy controls Harlem. Every black business owner owes him. Every service you use, black-owned or black-connected. Food, linens, garbage, repairs, all of them answer to Bumpy. Vincent's face goes pale. What do I do? Tony looks at him, dead serious. You know exactly what you have to do. Apologize and make it good, because if you don't, this restaurant closes by the end of the week. 30 years gone because you couldn't keep your mouth shut. 7:23 p.m. Vincent stands outside Bumpy's office, pride broken, arrogance gone. Just a desperate man trying to save his family's legacy. He knocks. Large man opens the door, looks him up and down, steps aside. Bumpy's sitting behind his desk, same calm expression, same patient eyes. Like he's been waiting for this all day. Because he has. I believe you have something to say to me. Vincent's mouth opens, closes, opens again. The words come out like broken glass. I'm sorry, what I said was wrong, what I did was wrong. I was raised to think a certain way and it was ignorant. I'm asking you to forgive me, please. His voice cracks. My restaurant is all I have. My family built it. I can't lose it. Please, Mr. Johnson, I'm begging you. Silence. Bumpy lets it stretch, lets Vincent feel the weight. That word you used last night, you ever think about what it means, where it comes from, the centuries of pain behind it? No, sir, I never thought about it. That's the problem, Mr. Mell, you never thought. You looked at me and saw a color, not a man, not a community, something less than yourself. Bumpy stands, walks around the desk, stands directly in front of Vincent. I could have burned your restaurant down last night, could have had you beaten, could have had you killed. That's what some men would do. Vincent's shaking now. But violence is easy. Violence is what they expect from us. What I did to you was harder. I showed you that you need us more than we need you. I showed you that your success depends on our community. I showed you that respect isn't optional. Bumpy pauses. Here's what's going to happen. Tomorrow you reopen, your deliveries come back, your services resume, your customers return. Vincent's face floods with relief. Thank you, Mr. John. I'm not finished. Bumpy's voice hardens. You're going to hire 2 black waiters. You're going to hire a black cook. You're going to treat every customer who walks through your door with respect, regardless of their color. Vincent nods frantically. Yes, I'll do all of it. And every Sunday, you donate $50 to the Harlem Community Fund, not because I'm forcing you, because you want to be part of this community. I will, I swear. Bumpy leans in close. And one more thing, if I ever hear that word come out of your mouth again, if I ever hear you mistreated another black customer, if I even hear a rumor that you went back to your old ways. He pauses, lets that hang. There won't be a second conversation. Do you understand me? I understand. I swear to you, Mr. Johnson, I understand. Bumpy steps back, expression softens just slightly. Then we're done here. Go save your restaurant. The story spread through New York like wildfire. By morning, every restaurant owner, every shopkeeper, every businessman in Harlem heard it. A white man disrespected Bumpy Johnson. And in 24 hours, without a single punch, Bumpy brought him to his knees. The message was clear. Respect wasn't optional, not in Harlem, not anymore. Vincent kept his word. He hired James Wilson and Robert Taylor as waiters, brought in Dorothy Mae Johnson as a cook. Her fried chicken became the most popular dish on the menu. Every Sunday, $50 to the Harlem Community Fund, sometimes more. But something else happened, something nobody expected. Vincent changed. Not overnight, not completely, but slowly. Working with black employees, serving black customers who became regulars, becoming part of the community he'd always kept at arm's length. Vincent Mell became a different man. 5 years later, when white men tried starting trouble with a black couple in his restaurant, Vincent threw them out. We don't serve your kind here, he told them. This time he meant racists. Mell's restaurant stayed open until 1978. When Vincent retired, he sold it to one of his black employees, at a price well below market value. His way of saying thank you, his way of making things right. And whenever anyone asked about that night in 1955, Vincent would shake his head. Bumpy Johnson taught me more in 24 hours than my father taught me in 30 years. He taught me respect isn't about color, it's about humanity. This story became legend in Harlem. Not because of revenge, not because of power. Because of what it proved about Bumpy Johnson. Bumpy could have destroyed Vincent, had the power, had the right. But instead, he chose to teach him, give him a chance to change. And in doing that, Bumpy showed the world something important. Real power isn't about how many people you can hurt. It's about how many people you can change. Every person who disrespected black folks was an opportunity to show them who we really are, to build bridges instead of burning them, to win hearts and minds, not just battles. Vincent walked into Bumpy's office a racist. He walked out a changed man. And that transformation, that redemption, worth more than any punishment ever could be. In Harlem, respect wasn't given, it was earned. And Bumpy Johnson earned his, every single day. Not with violence, not with fear. With wisdom, with patience, with understanding that the best victories are the ones where everybody wins. If this story hit different, smash that like button right now. Seriously. And if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? We're dropping Bumpy Johnson stories that'll blow your mind. Drop a comment. Could you have forgiven Vincent, or would you have made him pay harder? I want to hear your thoughts. Next video, the time Bumpy walked into a meeting with 5 Italian mob bosses. Unarmed, they thought they were gonna kill him. They ended up working for him. You don't wanna miss that. Remember, Bumpy Johnson didn't just run Harlem, he protected it, changed it, made it better. That's why we're still telling his stories today. Until next time, stay blessed, stay dangerous, and always, always demand respect.